Good evening. This is day 2, and today was the feast of St. Matthew in the church. And when we read the Gospels and the epistle readings on the day of a particularly solemn saint, like an apostle, we often have two readings. The reading for the apostle or the saint himself or herself, and the reading for the day. And the reading for Matthew is the calling of Matthew as a tax collector, that Christ comes up to this most hated of his own countrymen, a Jew who had gone in league with the Romans to extort money and exploit his own countrymen and take more than he was owed, and line the Romans' pockets with his own countrymen's money. And Christ comes and says to him, Matthew, follow me. And he leaves everything that he has, and he goes and follows Christ. Well, the Jews, the respectable religious leaders, are, you understandably, if you really think about, a normal human reaction, scandalized by this. How can you claim to be some kind of, preacher of the kingdom of heaven and, pal around, cozy up with this obvious sinner, this obvious, horrible person? And Christ gives these words, quoting from the Old Testament: I desire mercy and not sacrifice. He says, I've not called to come the righteous, but sinners to repentance. This really is one of the keys to approaching any fasting period. But in the Nativity fast, Christ says, I have not come to call the righteous, but I have come to call sinners to repentance. The term Advent, which is the period prior to Christmas, is, from venid, which is come, the coming, the arrival, in Latin and Spanish. And Christ tells us why he has come, why it is that he was born of a virgin. It was not to, basically affirm everyone in their own righteousness, but to call those who really truly saw themselves as in need of a physician, who see themselves as sick, not in a condemnatory way, because he would say in John's Gospel that he has not come to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. It's, not his place, his job, or his mission to condemn, but to save. But in a sense, he's saying, we are, there's not going to be any saving for someone who doesn't think that there's anything that needs to be saved. But really, when people come to confession during the Nativity fast, sometimes there's even a pride there. It's like, I can't believe I'm so sinful. I can't believe I'm still struggling with this. I can't believe I'm still, bringing the same things to confession all these years later. And I've started taking to telling people, don't be so surprised. Be truthful about your sin, but don't be so surprised. In a sense, be grateful. Be grateful that you can see your own sins. And be grateful that your God has seen all of the sins that you've ever committed, the sins that you're confessing, and the sins that you have no idea exist. And still he came. His answer to us is settled for eternity. He came, he was born, he was crucified and raised. But he has not come for so-called righteous people, but so that we would see our own sin respond to it, embrace our brokenness, and come to him for wholeness and healing. So, blessed feast of St. Matthew here on the very end of it. And we'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Bye.